So a massive matchup, VULkaN versus Royale, and that's what we're going to see the rest of the day, Andrew, is massive matchups. VULkaN coming off a big King of the Hill sweep from Tribe. Only needs to do 2 this time to extend this game and this match for complexity.
Royale goes Ice Wizard once again.
Interesting move from Immortals to run the exact same deck back a second time against Razor, maybe thinking he would switch decks to get a better matchup.
VULkaN getting damage where he can. Nice little chip there.
And Royale looking like it might be the same deck 3 times in a row.
Which it really comes down to mind games at that point, because as an opponent, you'd almost never think that your opponent's going to run the deck 3 times in a row, and maybe that's the idea that Javi Catorce had in Fnatic, but it just did not pay off for him.
And here we go, still looking the same for Royale.
Yep, and you can see that he's very happy to leak Elixir. He does not want to overcommit or get rid of a card he needs defensively just to cycle. That's one of the biggest mistakes that new players make, is they see themselves wasting Elixir and they start to get anxious about it. So they just play cards that they're going to need maybe 5, 10, or even 20 seconds later, and it's not there.
Well, the patience also not to go, okay, I'm ahead by 3 Elixir. Let me drop a Royal Giant in single and see what happens.
Which is something that I'm still working on.
Final 15 seconds of single Elixir time, and so far a little bit of damage done by VULkaN, but nothing significant on either side. VULkaN also just content to cycle and play defense. And Expo.
A defensive Expo comes down. Notice the placement, trying to keep it away from lightning range on that right-hand tower, the tower that it seems Royale has committed to. So Royale goes Royal Giant left.
I'm sure some of you have been following this at home, but Expo has gone 0 for 5 on the season. We watched the Icebo Masters play this deck, and no one got it right.
Was that a fireball miss?
You might be right there, Andrew. That might have been a missed fireball.
I believe it was. Very surprising from Royale. So Royal Giant comes down, gets one shot in, meets the barbs. A lot of answers to distract that RG.
So not going with NATO, Rocket, Ice Wiz, instead going with some small spells to cycle the Rocket, and these barbs are a great call, a direct counter to Royal Giant.
Yeah, so that's why you see the fireball working its way into Royale's deck, hoping to catch those barbs at some point. And after all that, he just gets a barbarian swing.
And VULkaN, Expo's up one more time.
Royal Giant in the little corner pocket there to focus right on the Expo.
This is really, really frustrating territory for VULkaN between the Royal Giant and the Bar Barrel. 2 really, really difficult cards to deal with, not to mention the Dark Prince.
Just gonna say,
can pick up that Expo lock very easily.
Yeah, can pick up the Expo lock, and of course the shield there just providing a little bit more HP. So VULkaN is in a very tough position with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. You already have to start asking yourself, how am I going to get chip damage in with the Rocket, because this is a lowest single tower situation.
VULkaN's not even worried about that. VULkaN's just going to say, I'm never going to let you touch my tower. That's my #1 goal, and I'm going to sneak in whatever I can occasionally. He knows he can beat that fireball with the Rocket. 1 minute into sudden death overtime. Again playing defensively. Wants to pick up that Barbarian, does not. That's a big swing,
Royal
and now
Giant
that Royal Giant's on tower.
That is a huge misplay. Fireball comes down. You know the barbs are the best response to a miss picked up on the RG, and now VULkaN is in a lot of trouble.
And now he's trying to get that Expo high again, but there's the Dark Prince, and this is the nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, he is lucky enough to have that defensive Expo still on the board, but the Royal Giant coming down as well. It seems near impossible to break through. Barbarian Barrel comes in late. He gets a couple shots in, but that's not enough.
I am really shocked by going with Expo at this stage, the way it's performed this season. We will see with 1 minute left in overtime if there's any way for VULkaN to find a way on tower. Royale, though, playing calm, playing cool and playing very, very well.
You know, you think the coaching staff of Complexity just goes, there's no way they play Royal Giant again, right? They've been playing it back to back to back to back. But Royal doesn't blink, plays it again, runs into an Expo and finds himself in an excellent position.
So you keep finding moments where you think maybe this is where there's an opening, but remember, if there's not a Royal Giant, there's a Dark Prince. If not a Dark Prince, there's a Barbarian Barrel.
And if neither of them are on the field, they are in the hand of Royal.
And now he's going to try to find a way to get Expo up high again, but that defensive Expo not going to happen. The Ice Golem does not pick up the Dark Prince. This is brutal.
That Dark Prince charge coming in is going to be paying dividends for Royal. Just that one hit now makes that defensive Expo fall off the board. RG in again, and there's just no way to break through. Royal starts with the BMs, which is kind of a trademark of his.
Royal takes a big win, and yeah, dropping thanks over and over again. You know, Royal wants to go 1, 2, 3. He is one away from a King of the Hill sweep.